Welcome to Whiteboard Project Management. In this episode, you will learn everything about project scheduling. This is Roman with you, and this is Whiteboard Project Management YouTube channel. In this channel, you will learn the tools and techniques used in the project management in a practical way. In this lesson, you will learn the project scheduling lifecycle, the input data you need to start preparing a professional schedule, the Microsoft project template preparation, preparing the template. We will discuss about developing the project schedule with Microsoft Project, front-end planning techniques, make the baseline, schedule parameters, schedule updates and forecasts, the schedule reporting and data analysis, and then useful logic Microsoft Project formulas, which I used, and it's very useful. Lesson number 1, which is the project schedule lifecycle. The life cycle of the project scheduling starts from the early beginning where you have the input data. You will collect the data. Then template preparation, you start preparing the template. Then you develop the schedule. Then you make the schedule baseline and then schedule updates. Those are the life cycle of the project scheduling. I can tell that most people collect the input data somehow roughly. They forget about the template, they go directly to develop the schedule, and maybe they escape the baseline and they do only project update, or they develop the schedule and go to baselines only. In this episode, you will learn all the life cycle from the beginning till the end. When the business case come into the table and the company decide to bid in the stage of bidding stage, here we start, and the sales team preparing the preparation of the template, the input data and everything. Then they start with developing the schedule baseline together with technical team. Then we have the contract signature, and in the contract signature you should have the schedule baseline and already attached to the contract. Here, maybe the schedule will not be in the deep level, could be in level 2, which is enough. And then during the execution phase of the project, the contract could have some specific article to explain how many days after the contract signature the contractor should submit the detailed project schedule in level 3 or in level 4. This schedule should follow definitely the level 2, which is in the bidding stage or in the contract attachments. And then we are going to schedule updates, reporting, and at the end, register your lesson learned from the project. Let's go to the input data and explain the input data. In order to develop the schedule, you need some data. You will collect it from the tender documents, you will collect it from the business case, what you have reported, what you have prepared during the technical discussion or during the technical clarification with the client, contract templates and attachments, and purchase orders. Next one, we have business case. Here you can see that we have a document where we take the information from the business case. Then we have the contract, which is another document where we take the useful information from the contract, and we have the scope baseline. The milestone list could be any form. This is a simple form. You have each month of the project. If you have, let's say, a 24-month project, so you have 24 items here, you can mention the milestone number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The type of the milestone, whether it's the payment milestone, whether it's a milestone under penalty, under liquidated damages, whether it's a contractual project milestones. Then you have the forecast, the baseline, the actual. So in each month, you take your milestones here. And once you are going into project execution, you can follow the milestone list and you can see all the updates in one table. The task list is the list of tasks needed to complete by the contractor. It's a high-level task. In Microsoft Project, the task list is named as summary tasks. Under each summary task, you have a list of activities. When we talk about task list, that means in Microsoft Project, summary task. The activity list is the list of activities required to be completed in order to complete the full task. In Microsoft Project, you have the summary task. Under the summary task, you have a list of activities. Those activities are here defined in the activity list for one single summary task. Each summary task has a list of activities. While the activity attribute, each activity has its own activity attributes. An activity attribute list or document contains the details of this activity, whether you need a resource, what type of resource you need, what type of links are there, the relations for the predecessor and the successor, whether it's lead or lag, and you know the details required for completing each activity. This is the diagram where you have the business case, the task list, and the milestone list prepared in early stages together between engineering and sales team. Then you go to the activity list, which are described in details with the activity attributes. And then you have the milestone list with the activity attribute to prepare and develop the project schedule. The activity attribute, in order to create it, you need the activity resource requirements, you need the activity duration estimation, and you need the activity cost estimation. In other words, you are working with the estimating team to prepare together the activity attribute list, and then you can go with preparing the project schedule. The template need to be well prepared. Once you open Microsoft Project, follow the following formats. Open date format, set your date, set your currency correctly, set your schedule correctly, working rates, set new tasks to auto schedule, project calendars, put all the project calendars if you are working on site or in another country. Let's say you are in Europe, your project is in the Middle East, then you can put two calendars. One calendar is for Europe, the second calendar is for Middle East, where they work in they have a weekend in Fridays and Saturdays. In Europe, Saturday and Sunday. The national holidays of each country. You can add also the working hours on site, or whether it's on site work, whether it's in office. So you define some calendars and you put it there. The Gantt chart view, the WBS, the task name, duration, start, finish, all these things, put it as one columns beside each other. Those are the most important ones you need to start with. Click the auto highlight critical tasks so you can monitor the critical task during developing and others. Then save it as a template, as a project template. You need this during the project execution. Now we have a project template and we go to developing the schedule. The schedule structure first to be created, where you have the project milestones, the payment milestones, milestones and tasks under liquidated damages, and then the main scope. This is the high-level structure of the project schedule. If you make it in this way, then it's clear to you whenever you are updating things, you can monitor clearly whether a milestone which is under liquidated damages is in critical path, whether there's a payment milestone delayed or upcoming, and the project milestones as well, and the main scope. When you start with planning, you take the milestone list, you take the task list, and you take the activity list. And you start with scheduling with the activity attributes. Important, remember always, project always have a start with a milestone named start and and with always a milestone named finish. A summary task should not have any link, means should not have predecessors and successors. Most of the schedulers do a mistake when they link the summary task. The summary task should not be linked at all. All activities must have predecessor and successor. If a task has no successor or has no predecessor, the schedule cannot be updated correctly. Each task must have predecessor and successor. The front end planning techniques. Once now you put all the milestones, you put all the tasks, you use the predecessor successor, you linked everything. Now let's see if we really develop the schedule correctly. Set your project deadlines according to the contract milestones, adjust the tasks to fit the project duration, apply the resource leveling in Microsoft Project, make resource leveling because you need the resources to be linked with the tasks, and analyze the critical path and make your critical path highest priority. Setting the milestone deadline. You open the task information, go to advance, deadline, click it here, and select the date. Then should contains either as soon as possible, as late as possible, no later than whatever. There are a lot of list of selections there. So you select it and then hit OK. Then you go to resource leveling. We go to resource, we go to level resources, and here you have the level. Either you select some resources to be leveled or everyone. I usually use to level everyone to see first how the project is behaving. Then you go to analyze your critical path. And for analyzing critical path, you need to do the following. You go to View, Filter, and Critical. When you filter to critical, you will see only the critical path. Copy and paste those activities filtered to your separate sheet and perform PERT analysis. Then when you have the standard deviation of the project, you can see the deviation allowed for completing the project plus minus. The project baseline is a freezed level of the project. If you create the first baseline, you make it as a baseline main contract. In Microsoft Project, the levels of baseline are baseline, then baseline 1, 2, and so on. It's up to 10 baselines. Microsoft Project allows up to 10 baselines. And baseline 0 or baseline only can be the main contract. Once you are having another contract amendment, first contract amendment, then you can do the baseline 1. But baseline stays there. So you can compare the contract with baseline 1. Once you have another contract amendment number 2, then you have baseline number 2, and so on. So this is the explanation of baselines in the Microsoft Project. Then setting the baseline in Microsoft Project, how you can set the baseline in Microsoft Project. Open Microsoft Project file, go to Project, set baseline, schedule, set baseline, and for entire project. Then replace your duration, start and finish the duration, and prepare the actual. So the list of viewing should be the baseline, which is the contract, the duration, the start and finish. Definitely you can have the baseline cost, baseline budget, baseline everything. But simply for the duration, if you compare durations, you have the baseline contract, and then you have the actual progress, where you have the actual start, actual finish, actual duration. And you have also the duration variance. And then you have schedule start and schedule finish, where this is the forecasts. Schedule parameters as planned. Now, baseline plan steps, how to create the updates and collect the information from the schedule as it's planned. First, you go to project, Then you set status date. You select the date from here. You update the project. You set the updates 0 to 100 and entire project and hit OK. If we say that the project starts from this date, the project will be updated every week. We set this date and we follow the update 0 to 100, entire project, OK. And then we see the percentage of the completion. Then we go to week 2, week 3. Here I put an example for months. So that means each month it's one update. Once you set the dates here differently and 0 to 100, then the percentage comes here, and you can draw here a simple cumulative S-curve to collect the data from the schedule as it's planned. Those are the steps, and this is the explanation of the previous slide. You go to project, you go to set status date, means you select the same date what you had earlier selected, but in this case, you make updates and you reschedule. Before we used the update work as completed, 0 to 100. Now we are rescheduling uncompleted work for the entire project. So when you are updating your schedule, you go first to the status date, you set your project status date, then you put the percentage completion and you put the actual dates of start and finish. So actual start, actual finish with the percentage. Once you finish with this, then you go to project, update project, and you select rescheduled uncompleted tasks for the entire project and hit OK. At this moment, you are collecting the updated information and the forecasts will be set automatically. Then you compare your actual with your planned and you will have two S-curves, and then you can see your deviation if you are deviating from the planned S-curve according to the plan or not according to the plan. Schedule forecasts, which are important, that the schedule start, schedule finish, duration variance, which is important, finish variance, and the cost parameters, which are the earned value, variance at completion, budget at completion, to complete performance index, schedule performance, cost performance, etc. Now, when you have this information collected from the planned and for the actual, you need to analyze the data. So you need to prepare your reports and you go to report and select. There are a wide number of information and template of reports here you can click on, or you can customize your own. Here are the tips for useful logic data you can use. You can copy and paste it to your schedule and use it. Follow these steps and go to the select, let's say, start date, make a formula. And when you click the formula, you can copy and paste those formulas. Each formula is set for one thing. So you, let's say, start days means from the beginning of the project, I have dates, but I need number of days. Day number 10, day number 11 from the beginning, or day number 100 from the beginning. From my experience, I generated this formula, I tested it, and it works. Very important, 1 week look ahead or 1 month look ahead formula. You can see from the previous task, there are text 0, text 1, text 2, text 3, and I renamed those texts to the formula I need. So I renamed, let's say, one text to 1 week look ahead. And once I update all the project and I go for project meetings, I click 1 week look ahead, print it, go to the meeting with the project team, and I tell them, okay, next week, look ahead, 1 week look ahead, we have this, those tasks to be prepared. With the client as well in the monthly report. So we have a 1 month look ahead and the previous month closing. So you have 1 month look ahead. Very, very important, very useful data and formula. Number of days between current date and finish date. So how many days left to finish the project, also this one, date difference, and 20% over budget. If we reach, let's say, 20%, you can change this percentage by changing here this percent. So simply copy this formula and paste it in this formula section for individual text, and you will be happy to see everything in front of you. The full slides are uploaded to my LinkedIn account. I will leave a link down in the description of this video so you can go and check it. Open your Microsoft project, go to this video again, step by step, check it back, and you will be reporting your schedule as professional. See you in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and if you like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more coming episodes on practical project management. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode.